All right, we're ready to prepare our nose cone. And for the nose cone, we're going to be using this eye bolt. And per instructions, you add the washer onto the eye bolt and put the nut on up to about 1/4 inch. This is going to stand up in the nose cone and will be surrounded by the weights. So the nose cone comes in at a little over 10 ounces, which is where the instructions pretty much say. We want our final weight to be 16 to 17 ounces. About 2 of that should be epoxy. So I want to get this up to 15 ounces because I want to err on the heavier side. So if we go over 15 ounces, that'd be great. All right, so that's coming in at 15.4 ounces. That'll be perfect because I'll probably use a lot of epoxy, and that should get us to our desired weight. Now I've started by putting some 5-minute epoxy into the bottom of the nose cone. I actually mixed it right into the nose cone. And this is just to get our eye bolt standing. And looks like I didn't use enough epoxy to fill. But let's see if we get some weights in there, if we can stand the eye bolt up. Okay. Not sure how well that's showing up, but the eye bolt is standing on its own with those weights around it. So I'm actually going to sit here and hold this nose cone for 5 minutes until that cures, and then we can add the rest of the weight. So while this is curing, I realized, oh, I could use a roll of tape to hold this up. So under the nose cone, I put just a roll of duct tape that I had, and that's holding the nose cone while the epoxy cures. So in just a little bit, I'm going to add the rest of the weight and then pour some more epoxy on it. So I'm going to start mixing up that epoxy. All right, I've mixed up a little bit more epoxy. Now this is not going to be enough to do it all, but I'm going in layers. So I'm just going to pour this around the outside. Oops, just cracked my plastic cup that I was using. I'm going to get all this in there. And I'm doing this because I want to put the weights, I want them to be sitting on top of epoxy, as well as the epoxy we're going to pour on top of them. Just going to rub some onto this one here. Drop that in there. So this is still just a 5-minute epoxy. So trying to make these somewhat balanced around the nose cone. Okay. Right. Those are in there. That should be all the weight we need. We're still going to put some epoxy on top of that, which will add a little more weight. So let's take a look at how we're doing on our scale. So let's put this tape on top, and we're going to zero out our scale with the tape. And if we when we put our nose cone on, we are sitting at 15.7 ounces. So we do have some room for epoxy weight, which we will get. So I'm going to mix up some more epoxy. Okay, I've mixed up quite a bit of epoxy. So we're going to go ahead and just pour this all around. As I'm pouring, I'm watching the scale go up. We're at 16.2 ounces. So this rocket, without the motor, is supposed to come in at about 3 pounds, and apparently a pound of that is in the nose cone. Okay, because I like to overdo things, I really want to reach that 17-ounce mark on the nose cone. So I'm going to mix up even some more epoxy to add to this and get the weight up. But for now, we'll conclude this video. The motor mount is curing. This is going to take a while to cure. So when we come back, we will add the final centering ring, and we'll start putting fillets on the fins, and we'll be near completion at that point.